When processing a return in Chaos Control Cloud, the default behaviour is that the goods are placed back into stock. However, if the goods are faulty or damaged, you may want to segregate them to make sure that they don't get resold inadvertently. One way of doing this may be to set up a separate stock control site. Sites are created in the Sites table in System Data. They can be viewed in the system by pressing the Sites button at the top of the screen. As you can see, we've set up a site called Quarantine, which is what we're going to use for our returned items. When creating our return, we can select the site that we want the items to be booked into when the return's processed, so we'll do that now. We'll now save the return and then go ahead and process it using the Actions button. We'll now take a look at the stock item. By using the Actions button, we can view the stock in other sites. And as you can see, we now have one of these items in Quarantine. We can then decide what to do with the item. If we determine that it's fit for sale, we can transfer it back into our main site. Or alternatively, we could raise a supply return or adjust the stock out altogether. If we're using this method for a return where there's an exchange item involved, there's one other step that we need to take care of. Here we have a return in which we're going to book the returned items into our Quarantine site. In this case, we have an exchange item that's also going to be booked out. We will now process and issue the credit note. Now the return's been processed, we can issue the credit note. We'll now allocate that credit note to the exchange note for the replacement item going out. We now need to make sure that the exchange item is being booked out from our main site and not from Quarantine, and to do this we need to go to the exchange note, which is in effect a sales order for the replacement item going out. By going to the Additional tab and then going into Edit mode, we can change the site from Quarantine, as it is at the moment, to our main site, and that ensures Quarantine stock is not being sent back out to the customer. We can now save our exchange note. We'll now go back to our customer return and complete the process by issuing the returns note. We can now see that the return is fully processed. Thanks for watching.